In the next 10 minutes, I'll explain how India has changed between 2000 and 2024, economically, socially, and structurally. We'll track 4 powerful indicators: GDP growth, life expectancy, the Human Development Index, and poverty, and see what they tell us about India's journey towards becoming a developed nation. Before we dive in, let's be clear on what we measure and why. GDP growth tells us how fast the economy is expanding, but growth alone doesn't mean better lives. Life expectancy measures health improvements. The Human Development Index combines income, education, and health into a single score, and poverty measures show whether growth is reaching the poorest. Together, these 4 indicators give a rounded picture of development. First, GDP. India's economy grew strongly through the 2000s and 2010s, driven by services, industry, and domestic consumption. In the mid-2000s, we saw some of the fastest annual growth rates. The 2008 global crisis slowed growth. Then India recovered. The pandemic in 2020 caused a sharp contraction, but the economy rebounded in 2021-2023. Overall, the long-run trend shows rising output and growing global importance. Now, health. Life expectancy rose from roughly the low 60s in 2000 to over 70 by 2024. That's a big improvement, reflecting better child and maternal health, wider immunization, reduced infectious disease, and improved access to care. But challenges remain: rural health access, non-communicable diseases, and quality of care. The Human Development Index measures health, education, and income. India's HDI has climbed steadily from a low base in 2000 to much higher by 2022-24. This means not just more income, but longer lives and better schooling, higher literacy, more years in school, and rising skills. Still, India's HDI remains below many advanced economies, so there's room to accelerate education quality and skills training. Perhaps the most striking change is in poverty. Around 2000, a large share of the population lived in extreme poverty. Over the next 2 decades, extreme poverty rates fell dramatically, by tens of percentage points, thanks to growth, targeted welfare programs, electrification, sanitation, and improved access to education and healthcare. Multidimensional measures also show big gains: more people with electricity, clean water, and schooling. Nevertheless, absolute numbers are still large, and inequality and regional differences persist. What drove these gains? Key drivers include sustained economic reforms and liberalization, growth of services and IT, infrastructure build-out, major social programs, electrification, sanitation, nutrition, and digital inclusion, expansion of education, and increased foreign and domestic investment. Technology, mobile phones and internet, amplified service delivery and entrepreneurship. Progress is clear, but the work ahead is significant. India must create millions of quality jobs, improve public education outcomes, address urbanization pressure, reduce air pollution, strengthen healthcare access in rural areas, and manage climate risks. Inequality across states, castes, and genders needs urgent policy focus so growth is inclusive. To move from developing to developed, India will need sustained high growth that generates quality jobs, a dramatic upgrade in education and skill formation, universal healthcare coverage, investments in clean energy and resilient infrastructure, and stronger institutions to deliver services effectively. Policies that combine growth with redistribution and local state-level experimentation will be critical. In 2 decades, India has made measurable and meaningful progress. Higher incomes, longer lives, better schooling, and far fewer people in extreme poverty. The next 2 decades will test whether India can translate these gains into universal prosperity. If you found this explanation useful, like the video, subscribe for more data-driven explainers, and tell us in the comments which indicator you want a deep dive on next.